Today's sponsor of the Vision Quest podcast is 920 Hat Company. Leather patch hats are in, and 920 Hat Company is here to hook you up with your very own custom hat. All patches are lasered on top-grade genuine leather and on popular brand hats like Richardson and FlexFit. Whether you're looking to show off your business or want a one-of-a-kind hat for yourself, 920 Hat Company can do it all. All the hats are handcrafted right in the Fox Valley, but worn across America. With over 500 hats in stock, they guarantee fast turnaround times. Honestly, Liam, looking at these hats, solid, right?
Yeah, they're pretty. I like them.
I like that patch itself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one-of-a-kind stuff. I know his name's Trevor. He does great work. He's actually gotten I think we got a knit hat coming.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got that coming. So we're really excited to have these guys on board as a sponsor. So get down to check them out on Facebook. I believe they're on Instagram. Check them out, man. They got the best hats, I think, in the Fox Valley, if not in the state.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So get down to 920 Hat Company on social media and check them out. We're live, big guy.
All right.
So a little weird. As you can tell, we had that meld of sound going on over there. So don't be distracted. You're going to watch us while we're doing this. We like to see how fat we look on TV. So obviously it's spinning now. We're probably disrupting something while we're doing it, but I really don't care. Anyways, we'll be talking about a couple things today, right? We're going to talk about your rankings. You got a new website.
Yep.
So that's awesome. You got a new setup. I'll tell you, I do like the setup, but I still don't like the setup. And I'll be your nicest critic.
Yeah.
Right? I promise. I'm not going to be a dick about it or mean, but we'll go through that later. But we're going to talk about NCAA stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about. We had an interesting thing brought up when I was on Twitter. Someone had asked, what sport is more successful outside of the NCAA? Once you get out of the NCAA, like what's more successful? Because you think about like right now, because this ties into what we're going to talk about with the NCAA versus house, which I think sometimes maybe people think we talk about this too much, but I want people to be well aware of what the fuck is going on, because it's getting weird. It's not that it's going to be like, I don't want to be doom and gloom about it. Like I think a lot of people are kind of pissy and just like, oh my God. What I'm trying to advocate is that people just go to the events. Pay the money to get in the door, so that way you're giving money to that program. Everybody can't give $10,000 or $50,000 to a program, right? But you can go to the program and you can give that the $10, $20, then whatever you're eating for concessions and things like that. I don't know how much of a cut they get from that, but either way, every little bit counts when it comes to showing up. Just because we don't know what is going to happen, right? We don't know what's going to happen at what schools. We all know that basically if you're in a Division I school and you have a football team, you might want to watch your butt because they're going to put money into that. Now, roster sizes have dropped, so this is another caveat into the whole thing. Roster sizes drop, but they're saying that they can give scholarships to each either weight class or each position on the team or whatever it is. So at first, everybody was just like, oh, wow, everybody gets a scholarship.
Yeah.
Nope. That's not at all how that's going to happen. I mean, for some reason, I think people give schools too much credit.
Yeah.
Right? It's a business.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to act like they don't have a job to do. They still have a job to do. They still need to make a school money regardless, because otherwise, how are they going to survive? Now, on the other end of that, now you think about personalities of administrators.
Yeah.
What sports do they like?
Right.
What sports are their kids in?
The ones that make the most money.
Correct. Correct. So with that being said, it doesn't mean that they necessarily are chopping sports out because they hate them, but they're definitely going to go to least amount of money first. Okay, well, these guys did kind of good this year. Let's hold on to these guys. These guys are field hockey. These guys are horrible. Let's get rid of these guys, right? Yeah. So each admin in each school is going to be different. Each school is going to treat each sport differently. Not everybody cares about wrestling. Right? So, and again, this does not mean that people in schools are not going to try and get creative to figure out a way. There are going to be the schools that are going to try and do the right thing, try and keep as many sports as possible and fight as hard as possible to keep everyone that they have already, right? Now I see like flag football is getting added.
What?
I saw a school. High school or no? It's college. Yeah.
Well, I guess it is an Olympic sport.
So we're still adding sports to schools.
Yeah, I guess.
So I don't understand, and I don't get the concept, I guess, then of how money really gets spent in a school. What is the decision making here? Because out of all the people that I've talked to about this, revenue is number one. I would think that popularity within the school, like how many people are actually showing up, anyways. Dollar side aside, right? Yeah. Dollars aside, how many people are actually going to it? I guess the other factor that I would think that they take into it is also travel. Like what conference are they in and how far are they traveling?
Yeah.
Right? Because now you have travel expenses added.
Right.
And was it Virginia just added Stanford? I think so with that whole switch up or whatever.
They're in the ACC now.
Something changed. Yeah, right. I believe so. Okay. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure I heard those guys saying now we added Stanford into a trip. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh no, you're just saying they're going there.
Well, yeah, it's part of. I believe they're part of the ACC now.
Oh, they are.
I think because remember, isn't USC or whatever California schools are Big Ten?
Yeah,
USC, and then there's some other schools that left and went to other conferences.
Oh, okay. Dang, that's
pretty sure.
Yeah, ACC is almost all East Coast.
You guys can call me out. I'm fine with that one because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that'd be a crap ton of travel if you're going to do conference duels.
That's what I'm saying.
All on one weekend.
So do you then, if you're trying to save a team, let's say you're trying to save the wrestling team. Okay, well, we don't want to be in this conference anymore. Let's see if we can find, and I don't know if it's that simple, right? This is the politics and the stuff about school and NCAAs that I don't know about, I'm guessing. Do they say, well, we want to try and keep the sport around. Maybe we can change a conference where they're not traveling as much. There we cut costs. Can the coaches bring it down a notch on each year on gear or whatever it is, with the contracts? Maybe they have to rework those, but it's going to get extremely sticky, with how these get handled. And they're not going to be completely, out there and apparent about stuff. Some of these admins aren't even telling their athletic directors what's going on with it. Because a lot of coaches didn't know, know, and because again, at that time, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I think it was still in preliminary, right? It was still just they put their word out, what they wanted. The judge was a little gray on some areas, but that's the NCAA.
Yeah, you got to leave some wiggle room.
King of gray, right?
Well, I think it's nice that we have women's wrestling already established, and we're not scrambling to do that for the two sports. Because you can do two sports in one facility.
Right. So. That's a double-edged sword, though.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so the let's say your women's team is more popular than the men's team.
Yeah.
Now what?
They got to keep the men's around because Title IX. Look the other way.
So, but not every school has it though, right?
Right.
I think maybe, I don't know, and this is a guesstimate. I don't know how on top of it Iowa really wanted to be on having a women's team, right?
Yeah.
Do I think they regret it? No, absolutely not. I don't think they regret it at this point. But I think that was an add-on for a reason. I think someone there kind of knew what was coming down the pipe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the perception would look a lot worse if we're trying to do it now.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they have it established,
Yeah.
it looks better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, bang up job putting a team together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh,
It's nice to have like 6 1-ranked guys or 1 ranked girls on your first year.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And you're starting lineup, not too shabby. And you constantly have
first year program. We got 6 number 1.
Yeah. We were really hoping.
Yeah.
It's the least we could do.
Yeah, the Rangers don't know shit.
No. But that portion of it is going to get kind of weird. So with a lot of the scholarships, I was talking to Madison about this the other day. With the scholarships that are being taken away now from schools, like Campbell did their thing, and Scott, shout out to Scotty Santos and those guys with how they handled with their AD and things like that, because the AD. A lot of times their hands are tied. Like some of them might have a say. You know, there might be different dynamics for different schools, but you know, sometimes their hands are tied. Like all they are is a messenger down to the sports team saying, "Hey, this is what the decision's been made with the faculty and the administration."
Right.
Yeah. So they played it really cool and saying, "Hey, guys, lay off. Don't be going down the AD's throat. They didn't do anything." So I shout out to those guys for that, because this is a very difficult time for people to deal with. And yes, again, there are some people that probably don't care. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. There's going to be those, right? Yeah. But at the same point, though, too, if we push enough and our fan base really starts to kind of disperse this more to get just a fan base. Not even trying to get more kids in wrestling, but get the fan base, because that's where the money is, right? Like, get these people in to watch. It's an exciting sport, right? Like, everybody talks about how much folk style is better. Well, show them. Right. Show them how much better it is. Maybe take them to a freestyle one first. Like, maybe you don't want to do that. It might ruin it, but you never know. Maybe they're going to like how fast it is. Right. And then you show them folk style, and they're like, whoa. It's just way different. Not different, but you know what I'm saying. I think a lot of the pressure that comes down on the athletes is now wondering if what's going to happen with my scholarship. Yeah. Right. Now you're talking a 7 or 18, 19, 20-year-old kid who maybe graduates. If they're seniors and juniors, it's probably not going to affect them too much. Right. But these freshmen and the sophomores, some teams have 45 kids. Yeah. Yeah. And
you can't. It's not like we have to make you a walk-on now. It's you can't be here.
Correct. Correct. So to that point, some of the D2, D3 schools, maybe they start kind of.
They're in the same boat. Like, I think NAI is going to grow.
That too, yeah. And that's what I was trying to get further down the road. Like, this is all going to start kind of petering out, and some people don't. They're a little pissed off about it or whatever, and I get it. But it's like, financially wise, hopefully guys wind up getting where they need to be, because that's just going to be that's going to be the shitter. Guys are going to lose their scholarships, right? So now you do have to go for best bang for your buck, right? But depending on what you wanted to do, if you already had that settled or whatnot, but I think it's an interesting time for these kids that not only did you have to make a decision for the next 4 or 5 years of their life, now they're about to completely alter that decision. I feel bad for them. I'm not. I think a lot of the guys that hopefully come out ahead are the guys that got lucky in the money run that went on, but NIL ruined it. Yeah, NIL killed this, guys. Like, I mean, let's be real. It's the entire reason why
they got more money when they're going to get a ton of money anyway. So that made a lot of sense for them. But that's about the only people. But they are the ones generating the most money. I get both sides of it, but it's just like, do you really need millions of dollars before? I mean, I understand there's injury risk, but there's injury risk in everything. Yeah. You're not going to ride in a car. You're going to walk everywhere. Like at what point do you?
You're just gonna hang out in your house,
Yeah,
and never leave,
yeah,
just in case.
But at least you got all that money. You can make a nice bed.
So the big thing to me is, we talk about, you hear a lot about loyalty from athletes and to their teams and coaches, vice versa. There's a balance now. It's not just kids that are like, oh, I'm going for the money, because I talked to Madison about this too, is that these coaches get bonuses. Like they get perks if these kids go to the, win the Big Tens, or they All-American, and plus their GPA is a 3.7 or 3. All that stuff. They get bonuses on top of that.
Yeah, we went over David Taylor's contract that one. I remember there was all those perks, like every All-American, every national champion, every team national championship.
Yep.
That's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be based on your
correct. And certain coaches, and whether they think it or want to admit it or not, but you can tell it's certain. I'll say teams. Certain teams have turned to that aspect of well, I need the top guy.
Yeah.
So now, not only is you're wondering about your scholarship, but now you're wondering if that team's still going to keep recruiting over.
Yeah.
Because now these teams are going to fill up faster.
Yeah.
The D2, the D3s, the NAIAs, that's all going to start to disperse, and now the pool's going to get smaller. Because let's face it, some of the schools are going to not have wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to one of my old coaches at my school in Indiana.
Yeah.
And he said he had a kid going down to Super 32, and he is like a Greco Fargo All-American, right?
Yeah.
He's never placed in freestyle, not really good at freestyle
or
folk style, but he's good at Greco. And so he was on his way down to Super 32. I think he went like 2-2 at Super 32. It's not horrible. But he had called a school down there. I won't say what school, but he called a school or like emailed them. And they were like, we're going to be down in the area for the tournament, what's going on. And we'd like to stop by. And the coach just said, look, because of the new rules, we're really not wasting our time if you're not in the top 5% of the talent pool. And he just said that out like bluntly. And I was just like, really?
But that's the harsh reality.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather him be like that than be like, yeah, we'll show you around.
Yeah, right?
Like, at least tell me you don't have a chance here. You got to go somewhere else.
And that's the worst part, though, because they still have to play their cards.
Oh, yeah.
Because if that other kid that they have coming might say no.
Right.
So they need him.
Oh, yeah. But
they
don't have the room for him.
At least he was honest enough to tell him that unless you do this, sorry, man.
Yeah.
At least he was upfront and told him.
Oh, yeah. But it was like, holy crap. Could you imagine that? Like, that would have never happened when I was getting recruited. Like, you send out a questionnaire, hey, you can come on campus. That's not, it's not really wasting anything, any resources or anything. But he just bluntly said, nope. I was just like, wow. That takes stones to do that. Because that could be put out there on the social media.
Yep.
Like, could you imagine, like, the wrong person sees that and makes it a bigger thing? Like, told him he's not good enough and he hasn't even completed high school and all this stuff. I was just like, I don't know.
Well, honestly, it gave him a goal.
Yeah.
I was that coach probably knew he wasn't done with high school yet. So
you
here you go.
Years. Maybe we'll be calling you.
Hit it up.
Right now, you don't got it.
No. No. So motivator.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are in softer times.
Oh, for sure.
Parents wouldn't, if someone told Liam that, would I be like, oh,
no, you wouldn't. But
at the same time, though, too, I'd be like, okay, well, what's up? Like, what does he need to do?
Right.
Yeah.
At least be a little bit helpful.
Yeah.
Criticisms.
Point it out.
Yeah.
Like, just let me know what's up, and we'll fix it for sure. But it's a wake up call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just to feel like, don't even bother, man.
Yeah. I know you're going to be 30 minutes away, but
so and so is going to be looking for guys. Let's go talk to them.
Right.
We don't need it.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. All right, well, that's
I'm sure he didn't say it. They were mean it that way, but yeah,
he said it like that. I saw a screenshot of the email.
Oh, it was an email.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was surprised he put it on paper like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that could be misconstrued, but at the same point though too is they mean it. Don't waste your time. Right. We already have a list of guys.
It's turning people into really straight shooters that I've not known to be a straight shooter. I've heard never heard that from that coach before.
And hopefully that helps the situation with whatever kids are going to be going through right now. Just like I said, you hear the news, and then for a while, like I said, coaches didn't even know what was going on.
Oh yeah.
You know, like they had no clue. I don't know how much the athletic directors actually knew or not, but like the coach was like, I wish we could tell you. And I'm like, are you serious, you guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it was just kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Right. I was surprised at how little information these guys are being given. You know, in a situation that's pretty weird. It's going to be trying too. You know, like to put a team together. I'm sure it seems like right now, looking at a bunch of teams, anyways, they had 30, 32, 33 or whatever. So it wasn't like a huge difference to them. But now they actually have to kind of go to the numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Oh yeah, but like, what about like, we were going through. Remember, I had pulled all the roster sizes of the D1.
Yep.
We went over that last time.
Yep.
And Army had something like 60.
Yeah.
They don't give out scholarships.
No.
You know, so it's like,
yep.
You're going to tell these guys, no, we don't want you to be in the military?
You think they might be,
or we don't want you to be a wrestler in the military?
And I don't know how the rules work for those guys, but you would think it would be an exception because they're already there anyways doing a certain type of training.
Yeah.
So what's to say they can't just be in a wrestling room training
they're
for combat?
NCAA regulated. Oh, you can't just make an exception.
Can you? So there are already students there, but can you be a student practicing? Right? You're just not even trying out for the wrestling team.
It has to be part of the team. Like it's not about.
And
it's roster size.
But then, like off to the side, coaches consider you a reserve, but you're not on the team. Right? They just have a list of guys and like, okay, can they register? Can a guy just all of a sudden come out and be like, I'm going to go to school. I'm already in school. I'm going to go for the team.
I think what's going to happen is there are going to be clubs.
Yes.
Pop up at schools, like, because there is right now a national tournament for club.
It's exactly what I said yesterday.
Oh, really?
I don't think a lot of schools will necessarily get rid of the sport, eliminate it from school. What they'll do is cut ties financially from it. Now they're going to be a club. Now you pay dues, you pay.
Yeah, it's just like being a red shirt. You got to pay for all your tournaments. You got to do all that stuff on your own.
Correct. So that's kind of the factor that I thought of. Like I said, a lot of these athletic directors are going to try, and not all of them are going to be like, "Sweet, we're cutting this." We're cutting that. They're going to, make an effort. So like that to me, that's an effort. It's going to change the landscape. I mean, completely and forever.
Okay.
Because it's going to be hard to come back from that, unless things just kind of completely explode. Could you imagine, can they if they eliminate boys wrestling from the NCAAs, can they still keep the girls NCAAs as long as they have the club side of boys?
No, because it wouldn't, for Title IX purposes, it wouldn't count.
It doesn't count.
No.
Okay, so they have to keep it in the NCAAs.
Yeah, it has to be an NCAA sport. It can't just be like, oh yeah, we let them play in the corner while we actually do NCAA stuff. You know,
right? I know.
Yeah,
I know. But I just figured, but they're going to get creative with ways around.
Oh yeah,
to be able to.
Yeah, they'll try for sure. Well, we let you in the room too.
Yeah,
they're just as important.
But you guys have to stay over in that.
Yeah, you don't get any of the extra stuff. But
no,
you got to buy your own singlets and shoes and everything.
That's right. Well, hey, I think the wrestling community, as far as the guys that have, and what this will kind of touch on the whole most success outside of NCAAs. I think a lot of guys from wrestling really learn, I think for the most part, how to, sell themselves, right? Which, as far as camps, and all that stuff. And maybe it's a part of what they went to school for. So they learn how to do that. The marketing is terrible. Like our sport in general is not very good at marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have picked up the pace and they're learning, right? And a lot of these guys are in marketing. So, I mean, I don't know. If you look at like Mike Manbrill, I think some of the stuff he does is pretty cool. Right?
Yeah.
So, in putting content out or whatever it is, but pushing is a brand. I think a lot of wrestlers have really good ideas for it. I don't think we're picking the pace up. If something like this were to happen, I think that could change for those guys exponentially, even financially. Just because I think it would be a big opening for these guys now to sell themselves even more down the road for this sport. Creating a club. A lot of guys are probably going to look into, making a club. You're going to see probably even more little ones popping up here and there, where after a while, it becomes a professional sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And it could be a good, it could be a bad thing. We'll see how this all plays out. We're just along for the ride, right?
Yeah.
And we're here to talk shit about it.
Right.
But it's, with a kid going into college, the success rate, I think, for wrestlers leaving college, I guess I'm gonna preface it with staying within their sport.
Yeah.
Right. Not going and doing business and stuff like that, and real estate and whatever. Staying within the sport, the success rate is minimal.
Yeah.
Right. It's small. So I'm not going to put wrestling anywhere up, even in the top 25 when it comes to success rate.
Yeah.
Are guys successful? Yes. We're a different brand. I wouldn't even say we, like I wrestle, but wrestlers are a different brand. They're made different.
Yeah.
Right. So they're definitely going to be successful outside of the sport in general. Right. If you want to talk about success rate outside of the NCAAs within their sport, NFL hands down wins, right? Hands down. Now, we were discussing before where we would place like basketball or baseball.
Yeah.
I guess I would probably put baseball above basketball.
Because of
how much? More opportunities. The only caveat with baseball is that half these guys barely go to college.
Yeah. The only thing about that, though, is like, I think other than like Asia and America, baseball, and Mexico, like, but that's the Americas.
I was going to say South American.
Yeah, but that's like the Americas, so it's like kind of, there's not many other, like basketball, you can play basketball professionally in Europe and all those other countries too.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that, like, I was thinking about after we had talked about it. I was like, you only got like 2 opportunities for it's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
But because they got like 22 rounds on their draft or whatever. I don't know who watches that whole thing. Like,
I've never watched. You talking baseball?
Yeah.
Never did.
I've never done it either.
It's about as exciting, I'm sure, as watching actual baseball.
So I did some like surface level like research kind of thing. I didn't really get numbers or nothing, but I just said like football and men's basketball were the most likely to gain the most money.
Yeah.
Success, and women's basketball is on the rise because of this whole.
But is that NIL or is that actual salaries? Because Caitlin Clark is only getting like not even $80,000.
Well, yeah, but it says but endorsements and stuff is on the rise for women's basketball.
Sure, she was in the millions for that.
Yeah, so that's where it's coming up, and Angel Reese did her self really well with stuff. Like she got a lot of endorsements early on too.
Yeah, missing shots and making making rebounds off
fresh. But then
I love watching that argument on Twitter. It's just hilarious. Yeah.
But then it says like baseball and hockey are the next 2.
Hockey, really?
Yeah, that's what it says. Players in these sports have a chance to earn professional contracts, especially if they excel in college. NHL.
I suppose hockey is pretty widespread. That's not a minimal area like baseball.
Right.
And you wouldn't think of that. And I was like, it's not places that have like indoor ice. And so I can't imagine why they wouldn't try and have a sport like that there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Then it says golf and tennis.
Yeah.
But those are more the thing that's weird about those are they don't really get that much marketing or sponsors and endorsements. But their earnings are if you're good, like
it's a wealthy sport.
Yeah.
It's a wealthy. So I mean, it's not saying the other ones aren't, but because of how small that it is, that they still make that decent amount of money.
Yeah.
That you have so many people that are loaded that are what the clubs alone.
Yeah.
Their payouts and everything like that are just nuts. And then the sponsorships that they get, Nike.
Yeah.
That's obviously with Tiger Woods and all that stuff blew up. But
the only thing about like wrestling is we don't get any media, we don't get any endorsements.
Not really.
Unless you're watching the 1 week that the wrestling's on ESPN. Like there's some commercials that are made for that one weekend.
And the thing with that too is that, and I know there are some now that are free. That people, but you still have to have a way to get it. Like if you're just sitting in your living room still with like a transmitter box or whatever, you ain't getting shit.
You're not getting it with the bunny ears.
Is what it is. But those are the guys. Go watch it. Go to the arena that is closest to you that has wrestling. Go pay to watch it. I don't care how small it is. Go pay to watch it.
Right? Has those fans that are like not had any sibling or relative in the program for 30 years, and they still go to every
correct.
Week,
Correct.
It's
exactly. So, we got a little off track. I got so engulfed in that one.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
I was just saying, like I got down the list, but then it only listed those for me, and then it that said wrestler's path to professionalism was only Olympic wrestling, professional wrestling, or UFC.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and so now that's something to be said too. Is like
Not just UFC combat.
How would we consider outside of wrestling success other than camps and coaching, right? I mean, that's what makes it so small. But if you do put it in with MMA, do you put it in with jiu-jitsu then too? You know, like that kind of thing. Like it's being on its own, it's tough. But the guys that do stay within the sport do fairly well.
Yeah.
Not all of them are able to do it forever. They do wind up having to jump off. So I guess it's not really, super successful, but not every football player stays in football, right? They still retire and do something else. So I guess if you do the ratios of numbers and numbers, the success rate is still really good.
Yeah.
Within the small group. But in the grand scheme of things, man, I mean, it's hard. Again, marketing. It's hard. I don't know if a lot of the guys are taking marketing courses and are graduating as marketing guys, but I think we keep things so tight, like wrestlers working with wrestlers, and there's a couple guys that wind up kind of going outside of the norm that get out into the world at large and not just in wrestling kind of thing with their talent,
right?
But I think at the same time though too, economically, wrestling has always been such like kind of a I don't want to say poor sport, but low money sport, right? As far as just what it takes to do something, plus what you bring in. So it's hard to value. It's hard to value exactly unless you're a head coach at a university. You know? Like, I mean, how do you value yourself as far as wrestling and the knowledge that you have? I mean, guys who have clubs, Ben Askren, all those guys. I mean, they changed. They didn't just start a club, right? I mean, he changed the way wrestling was.
Yeah.
In a way, in a big way.
Oh yeah.
But it's like it's hard to get past all those other huge sports, and that's again where we run into the issue with the NCAA stuff and sports that'll be eliminated. You know, it's we'll find out what the success rate's really going to be.
Yeah.
With guys and even some of the guys that have been in college wrestling already. Not every one of those guys is going to start a club, but I'd definitely be interested to find out what happens. With that fallout, because again, success goes a long ways when you don't just when you're dynamic.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with wrestling. If you're not dynamic and have something behind you, to back you up, as my single leg doesn't work, do I have a double leg that I can work with?
Yeah.
You got to be able to go to the next thing. And success is balanced differently by everybody. But I think a lot of wrestlers do wind up doing fairly well because they're harder workers.
Yeah.
You can compare like someone that graduated and is from California versus someone that's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's just a known theory within the industry that the Midwest, people that live from the Midwest are hard workers. So they want to bring those guys out to California to work and stuff like that. So they're always looking at like the Badgers.
Yeah. For
people that are graduating for certain degrees and things like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But this sport alone, breeds that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of guys, just because of just being in the sport, are successful. We'll see that Chance Marsteller movie coming up. That's going to be on Flow. We talk about addiction, stuff like that. I don't think we see a lot of that because I think it gets hidden.
Yeah. Yeah, it does for sure.
Guys who could have done really well. And I'm sure there's plenty of stories out there, and I'm not going to name names, or I'm not even trying to guess who might have the same type of story, but I think the upper sports, NFL, NBA, I think those guys have a harder time socially because of the fame, because of being in the spotlight. Wrestlers make a good living, and especially the guys who are successful, coaches, things like that. But even the guys who are running their own businesses, they live really well.
Yeah.
They learned discipline and things like that through the sport. So I would think, just on a moral standard, in my opinion, I think a wrestler lives a better life. Just because of the things that they had to go through to get to where they were, especially someone that stuck it out. But even a kid that goes all the way through high school and wrestles, and then he's done, he still learned lessons that he's going to carry. So I think I'd put a little more weight on a wrestler's success when it comes to after college, and maybe you were in something for a little bit doing camera work or whatever it is, and now you're doing your own business, and you're successful and you're doing that. I think wrestlers probably strive a little better.
It was I got like a little story, like it's like wrestlers always look out for one another too, you're in like a job interview and you see somebody that's got like cauliflower, you're like, hey, what's up? Like you kind of just like, where'd you get that? And but I was at like my daughter's soccer, like we had like end of the year banquet thing, like with the parents at another parent's house, like just like a get together, you know, like the last match or last game, whatever you call it. So
you don't know about soccer. So
So yeah,
oh,
so we're at this thing, and I didn't really, I'm kind of the guy that sits over to the end of the field.
Yeah.
I don't know anything that's going
Whatever.
on. I watch it, and my daughter's the goalie anyway, so I kind of want to be down there anyway. So,
coaching her.
Yeah. No, I'm not coaching her at all.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Well, I know you don't know the sport, but you're not like, hey, pay attention. Hey, what are you doing?
No.
Okay.
She gets thrown off if I do that. I tell her to listen to your coach. I don't know anything.
Nice. You're not that dad?
No.
Good job.
Because I know my shortcomings. Like, I don't know anything about this.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I admit when I don't know shit.
So I was at this party, and I didn't really get along with many of the parents. I didn't really talk to many.
Yeah.
And we were at this thing, and I mentioned wrestling, and the guy just kind of like, you coach wrestling? And he just started talking to me for like an hour. Hadn't even said hi, my name is anything for the whole season. So once he found out I was a wrestler, and still coach, he's like, wanted to be my best friend. I was like, this is so strange. Like,
and because you don't think that, we know that our world is small.
Yeah.
Right? We're well aware that it's small. But I think it's hilarious that, like you said, you go into it, but the same thing happened to me. I saw someone had a wrestling sticker on their toolbox.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I'm like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Why would someone have, is that their toolbox? It's like, oh, yeah, he just brought it. He just started. It was Winans.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, wow, you guys got hired like a wrestling dad. You got someone good. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. And then
he's going to be like, go all over the country for you.
Yeah, right, exactly. Give him shirts. Start ordering this. Yeah. That's happened to me before too. But anyways, the another one, I was wearing a Askren jacket.
Yeah.
Just walked into a new customer's place, and the guy was a machinist. He's sitting there looking. He goes, "That is that Askren?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's that Askren." And my son goes there. He goes, "Oh, your son wrestles too, huh?" And I'm like, "Yep, sure does." And he's got a younger son, and he was just kind of telling me about how impressed he was. And this is obviously a guy that has not been around wrestling until now that his kid's in it.
Yeah.
He goes, man, those kids learn a lot of hard work and a lot of discipline. I was like, yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And if they stay with it, they're going to learn even more.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of funny how just those little run-ins like that happen. But I think the success rate, I think that all around success rate, I think I would give an A+ to wrestlers when it comes to just determination, and things like that. And that's made out of feelings. That's not really based off of statistics and percentages, but percentage-wise, we're on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Way on the bottom.
But you go into wrestling knowing you're not going to make anything. And if you do, it's a plus.
Right. For sure.
Nobody goes into wrestling like, I'm going to make bank.
I'm going
to be able to go to this, tournament, get noticed, and get a scholarship right away.
And the thing that I applaud the kids that are able to do it, that were able to make the money, but it's a double-edged sword. But I was also like, man, now you're going to make other kids like that's going to be their motive.
Yeah.
And that's cliche or whatever, but it's what it is. Like they're putting themselves out there. So I do appreciate the fact that somewhere, somehow it was recognized that these guys are worth something. Right.
Yeah.
The way we went about it was horrible. So now we're paying the price. Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, I think we'll find out with the fallout how successful some of these guys can be. I hope as many of these guys can band together and all start as many clubs as possible.
Yeah.
And just invade every town, every state, every nook and cranny of this country with wrestling, and where they can't ignore it. Will that happen? I'm very doubtful.
Yeah.
That's also the community we live in with wrestling. Everybody talks big game, but they put up and do it. That's why every day, if not every other day, I keep putting things out there like go to the events, go.
Yeah.
Go. I'm gonna find out when UWO wrestles at home. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think isn't there like a match today?
I saw something, but I can't remember. Is it here though?
No, it's at like McClellan.
Is that a who event?
Oh yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Well, they're getting some shit out there.
I honestly like the mix up of the teams like that. I don't care who's putting it out there.
Right.
I like that they're doing that. I care more about the people going to watch it. So if I can get to That's the other thing, though, too. Those guys doing that, are the teams making anything off of that?
I'm not sure. I know, like, as a wrestler, it'd be pretty cool to go to, like, your old high school and wrestle, like, one more time. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, like,
for sure.
I'm sure somebody on there was on want to go at
And,
some point, you know, so
that's where Jake went, wasn't it?
Who?
Jake?
No.
Rajka?
No, he went to Milwaukee.
Oh, I thought one of them was McGuire.
That was the other one, RQ.
Oh, RQ. Gotcha. Everybody be like, who are you talking about? I won't name their name.
Yeah.
No, you do it. I'll say Wisconsin Wrestler Podcast. You should actually go listen to those guys. Yeah. If you guys want to understand, like, because we're not going to do it here. We'll talk a little bit about it. But if you want to understand the intricacies and literally the ins and outs of each sectional, and regional, and state on top of that, we talk about state, right? Yeah. I am not even going to try diving into. We might have fun one time and like use their graphic to kind of talk about something, but I am not going to dive into the stuff that those guys dive into.
Yeah.
Definitely go listen to the Wisconsin Wrestler Podcast. If you're someone from a different country, different state, whatever, and you want to understand Wisconsin wrestling, put those guys on. They have some pretty good coaches on too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll admit that. I think those guys do a good job dealing with all of that because, man, that's a lot of info. And I remember, was it last year? I think last year maybe they do it every year, but they put that map out.
The heat map, yeah.
Where all the regionals and the sectionals and stuff are in Google Maps.
Yeah.
For a while, I couldn't figure out how to get it off my map. When I would pull up Google Maps to go somewhere, all those hot spots were listed of where they were. I don't need that on my map. But good to those guys on doing that. Wisconsin Wrestler Podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough of those guys. So you started. We're done talking about NCAAs now, guys. Yeah. We're gonna move on. You started up a different website.
Yeah, it's still the same name, but
why did you change it?
I mean, I just wanted to get more user friendly, and it's kind of nice to have the pictures when I was able to get them, at least, and then it's a lot easier for coaches to kind of know who's on what team and all that, because there's a lot of moving around that's happened. And
so I'll be honest with you, it's the first time I've been on the computer website.
Yeah,
I've only been on my phone.
Correct.
I'm going to tell you, it's frustrating.
On the phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm going through right now as we're talking. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead, elaborate on what you got going on.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. It's just we got now you can click on, when you're in the actual rankings, you can click on the team and it'll bring up everybody on that team that is ranked and what weight they are and all that stuff. And it's a lot of Coach's Corner. I'm not going to bring that back probably this year.
No?
I was going to run something through the Coaches Association with that.
Yeah.
And make it had to be a WWCA member to access it, because it'll be like a little bit more in depth.
For sure.
So
for sure. Well,
that regular fans don't need access to.
Does that, so in that Coach's Corner though, are you able to is it like charts you can put in there, or what type of environment is it that's different from like what we're seeing?
It'll be just stuff like that coaches need. They don't need all this other stuff. They just need the results. Like, you'll click on a kid's name and it'll just give you the results.
Gotcha.
And
so on here, on the website itself, way easier, right?
Oh,
like on here, not on my phone. I don't get that. Like, obviously it's a drop down to whatever, but then it's just D1, and then all of a sudden it's D1, and I gotta scroll all the way down,
all the way back
to
up,
find 165. Then if I want to go check out 126, I go scroll all the way back up. Whereas on here, like, I can go.
You actually have the sidebar, yeah. Well, the sidebar, I can't get it. I can't get it to be.
I know you only have so much room.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it.
I'm not going to build my own WordPress.
You couldn't do a drop down.
No.
So go to rankings, Division 1, and Division 1, go to drop down.
Not in this format.
Kill me, dude.
I know.
But I do like I said, on here, way better.
I have done away with the full size ads too. So
good job.
But you don't get the full pages anymore, because I got so many texts from Brad saying, I don't want to go to this site every time I'm trying to click a name.
It was weird, because every time I try to click on something that would pop up, and I hit that ad, and I'm like, you son of a!
Yeah, do they have a camera when my fingers get in there? So I've done away with it. Yeah, I got just the half ads, and then I got the on the sidebar, the class of X I don't know if you've heard about that, but it's middle school and under right now. But
It's what?
It's a new tournament, I guess, that's being started up for elementary and middle school kids.
Clash of X.
Class of X.
Oh, Class of X.
Yeah.
Who has what it takes to rise through the ranks?
Yes, and it's done by instead of done by what year you're born in, it's what grade you're in currently. So that's kind of a different way to do it. They reached out and wanted to.
That's different.
Yeah.
And that's only Wisconsin right now?
Yeah, right now it's only in Wisconsin.
Class of X.
Yeah.
What's the format?
It's
just a regular type tournament?
Yeah,
but just by grade.
Yeah, just by grade and weight, obviously. But,
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, okay. So they reached out and just
that's cool.
Yeah. Trying to get different things out there for
Class of X, Wisconsin Youth Championships. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a new tournament. So
all right, guys.
Well, check that out.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Running a tournament's fun. I'm thinking I do want to get another one going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been talking about one for a while, but it's always trying to figure out dates and when things work and off season, in season, because I want it to be a high school tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
When do you do it though?
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and compete with all the bigger tournaments like in the fall or whatever.
But,
But anyways, back on your website here.
Okay.
How long did it take you to do this?
Oh, a long time.
Did it?
Yeah.
What is yours through?
WordPress.
WordPress?
I just use a WordPress.
Gotcha. Was that pretty easy?
Yeah. I mean, once you get the,
you just go find a layout or whatever?
Yeah, just one that, like, this is actually a soccer layout. Like, that's what the thing is.
You just changed up whatever you need to change.
Yeah, I changed up the lingo,
nice.
And then I'll be able to.
People are probably getting bored, but this I find this stuff interesting.
Oh yeah, but I'll be able to link up when, like, how I used to have the significant wins. I'll still have that, but I'll be able to link them in this bio or in the little where it says previous state experience and significant wins and all that.
So I'm gonna click on the athlete here because I haven't done that yet. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you do that and then you click on a significant win and it'll take you to that kid.
Ooh, look at you with your Rockfin links and stuff. Look at this
links.
guy. Yeah, because the way you have it in so I go to Liam's, you have Mad Scout rankings.
Oh yeah.
When I click on that, it takes me to Mad Scout's rankings.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking
about. Oh yeah. Huh. I thought you meant but that one's a paywall for you. So like that. Like Flow is free, so it takes you directly to the actual.
Oh yeah.
But like Matt Scouts, I couldn't link directly to each individual weight. But if you clicked on like the Flow, it'll take you like directly to that weight class. So
32, pound for pound.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I tried to do that. I reached out to both of them to make sure they were cool with it, just to because I don't want to put something out there if they. I mean, obviously, Flows is free.
Yeah,
but Willie's is pay. So I asked Willie to make sure he was cool with publishing that because that could. You never know. People are gonna.
Yeah, someone gets upset about it. Yeah, I get it. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You put their GPA in here yet?
No, not yet. I haven't got to that point.
Are you going to do that?
I'm going to. Yeah. I want to.
But is that going to be more on the coaches' side, like you're talking about?
That'll be in the coaches' corner.
Gotcha. You don't want everybody knowing what their GPA is?
Yeah, I'm going to give the kids access to that, so I don't want it to be
to the coaches' corner.
Yeah, I don't want that to be publicly seen because I don't care if you want to look like a.
Well, you can have the kid fill it out. On their end, and it only publishes to the coaches.
Yeah, because I don't want it to be public. Because if I let them have free reign, they just put.
I want to know how smart this kid is.
Yeah,
put it out there.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, it would be stupid of me to give them free reign to my website. And they
for sure.
So the coaches' corner will be theirs to put whatever they want to put on there. And if they want to look like a butthead to the coaches, go for it. I don't really care.
Oh yeah. If they're willing to put it out there, it's on them. That's when they want.
They can tie their. I'm gonna put it to where they can tie all their socials and everything together. And because I could do that, but that'd take forever. Like, this was a lot to get all this. Like, because at the end of the year, I usually have a running total of like their career records.
Yeah,
it had disappeared somehow, so I had to redo all that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have that written down somewhere though?
Well, it's in the cloud now.
Oh, it's in the cloud.
Yeah, somewhere.
So are you able to is it something like you have an Excel file and you can export the information from that Excel file into the backside of your website?
Yeah, that's how initially it went in. But now, since everything's loaded, I have to manually do it. So
I gotta see if I'm getting. Oh, just Joe. Sorry, folks. That was kind of rude. I think it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Just like I said, just on the computer side, if there's a way that I could help you reformat it on the phone side.
My wife is.
Oh, that's right. She's the guru.
Yeah,
that's right. Because you are not tech savvy. No. Not at all.
No. Barely talk sometimes.
Folks, I'd love for him to have his own camera hooked up on his computer, or at least I'll get it set up eventually that way, where we have another camera. Obviously, it's not super important to us, but like I can't even get him to plug in the computer. The camera into the computer and then be able to balance out the sound from his computer.
I mean,
he doesn't remember where settings is. Guys. So I told you I'm a Mac guy though. This is I have my own opinion about Macs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but another thing I added this year was ranking by sectional. It's kind of I like that. I used to work for the IndianaMat.com in Indiana, and they always had semi-state rankings, which is basically our sectional. So
team rankings.
Yeah,
you've always had.
Yeah, I've always had team rankings, but ranking by sectional kind of lets you know like who's ranked to go. Obviously.
Casco's 10, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
not saying
that,
but
they're young.
I was going to say they're young. I didn't think they'd be top 10.
Yeah, they're
okay. Interesting. Then Rapid's making its way back, huh?
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting sectional, that's for sure. So we got them in team sectional now. So nothing like having a potential state finals match in.
Right. Oh God!
On a random Tuesday in Stevens Point.
Random Tuesday
or Wednesday, whatever the hell it is.
So are you a part of? And I might have asked you this last year. Do you go to any of the coaches' meetings, like all this stuff that has to do with the teams? Does Machek have you go and sit in on any of that, or no?
No, I mean
no. He just conveys the message.
We go to the one in Freedom. That's our district.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we go to that every year.
Gotcha. Did you go
to what's supposed to be on the docket for changes and everything?
Yeah. You didn't go to the Coaches Association thing, huh?
I've never been to the clinic
convention.
No, I've never been to that.
No.
It's always when I'm doing we do like early Thanksgiving with my side and then do Thanksgiving with her side.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's usually that weekend, like the first weekend in November.
Cool.
So miss it every year. So can't say I miss it because I've done that.
So with the website change, have you noticed more traffic?
Yeah, well, especially preseason. Yeah,
getting good feedback.
Yeah, I mean everybody acts. I mean, unless I rank your kid wrong, usually.
Except for me bitching about it on my phone.
Yeah,
dude, those ads are so.
Oh, I know.
So, and I get it. I know that they're there, but and you can make them go away, but then like the whole block on the bottom doesn't go away. Well, why this ad?
Yeah.
Just delete it.
Yeah.
Can I just exit out? Like, hey, you showed me you did your job for Zach. Now just go away.
No, because you got to get another one after that.
So horrible.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, it's
nonstop.
I gotta make my pennies.
You gotta pay the bills,
yeah,
right?
Gotta make my pennies.
Yeah. It's just it's depressing with all that. But again, that class of acts that is interesting.
Yeah. I think that'll be a very cool.
Well, I'm wondering what made them start this. Like, what was the difference of?
Well, because I mean, the WWF championships, it's kind of combating that a little bit because, I mean,
is that what are they trying to challenge that?
Or I have no clue what I think they're just trying to offer something different. Like, because this will tell you who is going to be good in that class. Like the WWF, I never know if the kid's a 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader. I have no clue. I have to do so much research on WWF just to see what age this kid is.
I'm going to send this over to Joe. This sounds 3 to 4 hour session max per grade.
Yeah, I liked everything he was sending me. So I'm gonna endorse wrestling anywhere. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just kind of curious as to what they're like. This is all just towards like the youth wrestling, right?
Yeah.
grades, first through 8th grade. Didn't do kindergarten. Wow.
No.
Oh,
Making
wow.
a stand.
Right in the line, right in the sand. No kindergartners here. Schedule. Interesting. I didn't realize they'd be pushing Class of X right now, but kind of interesting what they got going on. So
Yeah.
8 to noon, 2nd and 4th grade. Look at that. Oh, 12 to 4 for 1st and 3rd. Wow. There must be some parents running this.
Yeah.
Because they kind of understand how the age groups work.
Yeah.
2nd and 4th are 8 to noon. Those kids can handle that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? 6th to 8th grade are 10 to 2. 10 a.m. They're finally out of bed. You know, that kind of thing. Wow. 5th through 7th, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah. And then kind of, that's the party end of the night.
Yeah.
2 to 6.
Those are ones that aren't nervous about high school yet. They're still all right. They still think it's all fun and games.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Joe and I are going to talk about this.
I thought it was very cool.
I did,
They put together their own ads and stuff. I was like, yeah, give me some and I'll for sure put it on there.
They're out of Rapids. Oh,
yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, who would have come up with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kate at Class of X. Okay. Well done, guys. I like that.
I thought it was very cool.
When the time frames and stuff like that spelled out in there, man, they better hold those.
Yeah, I know.
Oof. We're a rough community when it comes to the schedule.
This said 8:15.
We are.
Well, now 8:16.
Something says 9 o'clock. It turns 9:01. I always see people looking at their watch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's 9:01.
Start heavy sighing.
Oh my god. Okay. So that's what you get, folks. When you get us talking, man, we're gonna talk about the ridiculous and probably the hilarious. I never forget. Someone posted a video of, or I saw someone had posted a video. It was a past one, but they're wrestling somewhere, and they made the comment that they don't stop, even for fire alarms. Wrestling doesn't stop. And I wanted to go back. Liam was at Appleton North.
Yeah,
I think it was a regional, and he was beating Ava Gardner.
Yeah.
No, not Gardner. Ava Peters.
Okay.
And he wasn't like she beat him. They're little, right?
Oh yeah.
And she had beaten him before that, so he was up. And then they got a break because the fire alarm went off. They had to empty the school out. They go back in and they lost.
Awesome mojo.
So yes, they do stop wrestling for fire alarms. So that is highly inaccurate, and it screwed up Liam's day, the whole rest of the day. But yeah, no, I saw that was pretty funny. But no, it's good. I think you what you got on there, especially this Class of X, it looks good. Yeah, I'd give them a little bigger page.
Yeah, we just got it on there last night. We're just
did you?
Yeah, just trying to figure out how it fits. Like that's another thing about that's why it sucks on the mobile is because this is on the sidebar and the sidebar is all the way down at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
and I cannot figure out how to change it.
Really?
Yeah, it's not very mobile friendly.
Just give me a hand with
it.
Yeah. That's all I've been doing is build a website and trying to get go and everybody else go out and check out the gear that we have on the website. It's Lyric Ketzer's signature line. We did a line for Lyric Ketzer out of Ohio, Triple Crown winner. Go check out. We got hoodies made for her. We got sweatpants. We have white shorts. We have shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve. Go grab some Lyric stuff. The proceeds. She gets the proceeds from sales, and it's kind of helping her out. And she's also trying to get out there in the international styles overseas, not just here. So she's trying to raise money for that too. So go check out our website, visionquestpodcast.com, and go check out the signature line of Lyric Ketzer and get some gear, help support her. But she's one of our signature athletes.
Cool.
To see if Logan wants to get his stuff out there.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you can put it down on the bottom where all these annoying ads are.
Yeah, I'd like to, but that's
and then they would be even further down towards the bottom. Where
you can't intertwine the Google and the plugins that you do.
Technology is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Still selling gear, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
nice. Yeah, why not?
I mean, if they want it, they can get it.
Yeah,
you got a couple orders.
That's sweet. I like those quarters. Anyways, what else you got coming up? Anything?
Not really.
Wrestling season's here, so
I mean, been doing that.
Yeah.
So.
We got a new guy up there, right? that's helping.
He hadn't been up yet, I don't think.
I think once.
Unless he was there Friday. I didn't make it yesterday.
Oh, I thought William saw him up there once. What's her last name?
Medbury.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to do that to you.
Yeah.
So now you probably don't have to put shoes on as much anymore.
I still put shoes on this time.
Just to walk around in them.
Yeah.
It feel cool.
Yeah. If I needed to wrestle, I could.
Folks, not only does he do rankings, but he also he helps coach at Kakana High School. We're hopefully getting fifth. Not I'm a parent of a wrestler, but hopefully you guys are getting a fifth championship this year.
Yeah, I mean,
in a row, 5 in a row.
Yeah. Be pretty nice.
It'd be pretty sweet to have one for the thumb, right?
Yeah, they have
one for the thumb.
Yeah. I like that when I heard that.
Yeah, it'll be on a shirt.
Yeah,
I'll if someone hasn't done it already and like Maciek hasn't talked about it, I'll put it on a shirt.
Okay,
one for the thumb. And we'll have to get a picture of him with the rings on, and just his hand. We don't need his face because God forbid his face is on anything. With his hand out to the side, we'll take a picture of it. We'll put that on a shirt, and then on the back, do #1 for the thumb.
Is the ring going to be like covering or something? Or
no, just no ring there.
Just no ring.
It's just missing.
It's missing. You're not predicting.
It's the one we're going for.
You're saying that's the one we.
I don't want to predict.
Yeah.
Not on this one.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts. I don't want to predict on this one. I just want to be hopeful.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time, right?
For us 5.
Yeah.
That we had one other 4.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But has anybody? Was it Rapids that won 5?
I think they've won 6 or so
in a row.
Yeah.
All right.
They won something like 16 of 19 years or something like that.
Well, Liam's only here 1 year. That doesn't mean he's going to win a team championship for you, but 1 more year, so that'd be 6. We should find out what. Maybe it would be nice if T chimed in once in a while, but it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I know. As far as the way that the team is now, knowing some of the guys that run JV, being able to watch the JV guys now coming up and putting in varsity time is going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So a lot of them were doing good. I mean, they were put in last year for a couple of duels here.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely one of our deepest teams since I've been here. For sure.
Yeah. For sure. And it doesn't, I mean, as far as I could tell with the younger kids, it doesn't look like it's maybe in the next 2-3 years, doesn't look like it hopefully isn't going to change. It still looks like it's a good solid group of athletes.
Yeah.
And not just wrestlers, but athletic kids.
Pretty spread out too. They're not all clumped down at the bottom,
All you parents that have kids that are like 2 or 3, move to Kakana if you want to wrestle.
Yeah.
Move to Kakana. I'm going to tell you at that age because I'm not going to get called up for recruiting people.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if they're going to be good.
Right. Right. But just if this is your dream for your kid, you're living through your kid, move them on to Kakana.
It's a great place.
But no, it's a really, like you were saying before, people that haven't been in wrestling in forever, but we're part of it or whatever, still go to the events, and some of the people that have never even been in it,
oh yeah,
still go.
Yeah,
right. Like we see people all around town and like kind of walking around like, hey, we saw him at a wrestling event.
Yeah.
So he was at the duel last week.
You have like a grandkid,
but you don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Right? But they're there for the team.
Oh yeah.
So I wish it would be nice that like we could go to like things like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Obviously with the rules and all that.
Yeah, we can't. They don't want us over Blair or West Elm.
Man,
it really affects the WIA apparently that we wrestle somebody that
I know. It makes your athletes better.
Yeah.
Weird.
Heaven forbid you do that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah.
It
affects them somehow.
Are you excited for the new rule changes that are coming to high school wrestling? 3-point takedown?
Not really.
No?
I like the difference between college and high school. Like,
why?
I just like it. I mean, it was cool that it was different. Yeah. Now it's the same.
Yep.
It's just like I'm getting used to it. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Not that I hate it.
You can dislike it. I don't care.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's not that I hate it. It's just that it's not jumping off the page. I don't really think you should be able to do 4 moves and get a tech ball.
The math is a mathing for you?
Yeah, I mean, 4 moves, you got a tech ball.
I don't know. Some people say that it's encouraging shooting, encouraging more offense instead of getting a takedown and then just laying on top of a guy.
It's also discouraging people from getting better that are new.
True.
I mean,
I see your point.
As a coach, like, you want a kid going out there and getting tech balled in 40 seconds? Like, tech ball is supposed to be, 40 seconds. You could still do it now, but I'm just saying, like, you would have to really hustle. Now you could just, 10 seconds get a takedown 10 seconds, get a turn in 10 seconds, get a turn in 10 seconds, get a turn in 10 seconds.
Ball.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think it's good for growing the sport. I think it's good for the dominating people.
Do you think that it's really going to change that much, like especially going down to the youth level? Do you think it's going to change that much as far as how a coach coaches a kid? Because they're still going to teach them the fundamentals, right? Like, I mean, I don't think a lot of, and I could be speaking incorrectly here, but I don't think a lot of the kids that are at the kid level that aren't necessarily having that idea already that they're going to, I want to go to Minnesota and wrestle that tournament.
Right.
They're just there wrestling. Do you think that's going to change the perspective of how those kids still wrestle?
What do you mean, like the perspective of?
Well, if that kid already knows that if I get a takedown, I'm talking about the kid himself.
Yeah.
If I get a takedown, I get 3 points. Most of the kids aren't going to think, "Oh, I'm going to cut him because then I can get another takedown right away."
Right.
A lot of them want to be on top because they want to beat the guy up, right?
Oh.
So I think it'll probably change the factor by middle school, and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think it really changes anything other than mat time. Like I said, like for the kid out there getting his ass kicked, it's not going to be very fun, but it's going to be quicker.
But for the kid getting his ass kicked, it allows him to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, if he can do anything.
If he realizes, hey, I got to get my head out of my butt, I can now get those 3 points or whatever.
I mean, granted, you can get pinned in 3 seconds, but I mean, I get what I'm saying. It's kind of stupid, but you want, like, as you're trying to get kids better in high school, we're not trying to really separate ourselves. You are, but I'm saying, like, we're trying to get kids out for the sport and want to do it. And
there's a perspective though too that there are, obviously not every kid's going to go to college and wrestle, but there is a perspective of like these guys need to be able to do it because otherwise they get into college, it's a whole different wrestling aspect.
Yeah,
so I get that point, but I understand what you're saying as far as like just trying to make a guy better. I mean, now he's got less time if he's not as good to try and figure it out.
Right. I mean, granted, he could get lucky and score some more points too.
Yeah,
but I mean, the likelihood of that happening.
Yeah. Or toughen the F up and just stop letting him score.
Right.
So, but to me, that's the thing. Doesn't matter if it's 2 points or 3 points.
Right, it does because it's more points.
Yeah, I know it's more points, and I understand the time frame, but still, maybe it places a little more urgency on you to start actually learning how to, wrestle through something instead of just like, oh crap, I got to give up.
Yeah.
But again, it is what it is. I think it's going to be.
I never think.
I guess I've never really thought until Liam wrestled, like he wrestled at the Pointer Open, and then he wrestled at a couple other events. Like it doesn't really hit me as much.
Right.
Maybe now once we get an actual high school season, and seeing how every other kid on the planet now will handle a 3-point takedown and the point spread, we'll find out. I guess we'll see. But I get your point. Yeah. I get your side of it. What you're saying because it's just not. Any kid that's
you weren't before, but it's just quicker. Like it just makes it more embarrassing, and just like getting pinned in 3 seconds is embarrassing just as much as that. But it's just like
I haven't lost sympathy for guys. I mean, there's obviously tough losses, but I have lost my level of sympathy. Mm-hmm. For certain things, especially within sports, right? Like, there's coaches now, college coaches that are bitching in football, bitching about guys running the score up. Don't suck.
Yeah.
I understand that if you're a coach that has this AAA team that's going into a game where, they know they're going to whoop them, right? I mean, there's a little arrogance in that, but I've also been coached by guys that have said they're here too.
But you're also incentivizing in contracts for yardage and touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, you're taking money out of my pocket because you suck.
Right.
I'm supposed to not score because you can't. So,
like I said, there are tough losses, right? But in situations where people are crying over something like that, like I have no sympathy for that. Like if you're bad, you're bad. Then work to get better.
Yeah, professionally and collegiately.
I didn't score all those points and laugh in your face.
Yeah.
I just scored all those points.
Yeah.
How you feel about it reflects on your work, not me.
Yeah.
So I would like Liam used to get looked down upon because he would tech kids.
Yeah.
He liked turning. He wasn't necessarily like a takedown king.
He used to like turning. He doesn't anymore.
Right. Truth.
Yeah.
And it was what's his name? Ryan. He was like, well, if he's going to wrestle in our team, we're not just going to go out there and tech kids in the first period and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, he is.
Well, if he scores enough points, he will.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, what's he doing? He's perfecting whatever he's trying to do. If the kid's not that good, he's not that good. That's what happens.
Why is a dual meet setting different than a tournament?
Because he's representing someone, right? Like a team.
Representing himself also well.
He's also scoring a lot of points for your team.
Yeah.
So it's like, but at the same point though too, it's like he wasn't going out there scoring all those points and laughing in the kid's faces and like he was wrestling a match,
and flexing on him every time.
Yeah, he was wrestling a match, went to the line, shook his hand, and he left.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah,
like so he teched him. That's what happens.
Yeah,
and part of that interaction made me lose even more or less, or lose even more sympathy for it.
Yeah,
why can't I talk right there? I'm mentally retarded here.
No, I don't think so.
We're getting little blips.
Yeah, I mean it's
the Matrix.
What, hour and 10 minutes now?
Yeah, about hour 10 minutes. It's the Matrix. It's messing up. But with that being said, I think a lot of what is going to happen, with the 4-point near fall. I mean, are they going to carry that through into the youth?
I don't know.
Have you seen any of that? Have they changed their rule? I guess I've never asked.
Yeah, I've not.
That'd be interesting to see.
Into that. Yeah, that'd be great. I think we just have one move be 15 points.
Call it one takedown done. You're attacked.
Yeah, you got decked. Sorry. That'd be great, right?
So, what stops you from? We see, Willie does them, and WI Wrestle does it. I think. What stops you from doing middle school rankings?
Time. It's me. I don't have time.
It's not you. It's me.
Huh?
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah. It's time.
Yeah.
I don't have time to worry about all the elementary school tournaments that have gone on.
Well, you don't work anymore, right?
No,
because they didn't you say they wanted you to be like full time or something like that? You're like, no.
Yeah, I'm like,
no, I got stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to have vacation and stuff like that. I just tell you I'm going to not be here, and it's pretty nice.
Oh my god!
Like during wrestling, I worked. Like last year, I worked once a week, maybe.
Did you?
Yeah. So I was just like, I was just doing it to be active.
Yeah.
So
just to be active.
Yeah.
Just to get out and ride a forklift.
Yeah, I was running out of stuff to do on at the house. I cut down all those trees. I did everything I needed to do around the house.
So now you have all the time to go and check out the little kids.
Yeah, you're right. I'm still not going to.
Again, what stopped? Do you think it's ridiculous?
Yeah.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it.
But if you had the time, would you do it? If it was you still wouldn't do it.
No,
because you don't think they should.
No, that's undue pressure.
No. Oh no, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not trying to. If someone's got a problem with it, they can have a problem with it. But I'm just trying to get them out. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, you got enough pressure on you in high school to get shit done. Like you don't need it in middle school.
Yeah,
everything shouldn't be, for a ranking and stuff like it. It's supposed to be fun at first.
I'll put it this way: as a parent,
nerve-wracking.
As a parent, it's fun to look and see. Oh, I wonder if everybody's recognizing my kid.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, right? But as a coach, like I coach soccer or whatever, but I've helped coach Liam and coach a dual team with those kids. Like I don't understand. And us parents, like I'm sitting around with a group of parents. We're at a hotel or whatever, sitting in the lobby. We're all talking about rankings. Right? Yeah, it's a fun banter. And you're right. The pressure of those kids know that it's out there as well. They're going to go look it up, and now they're pressured about, I'm going to do well at this tournament.
Yeah.
When you're probably a kid who cares, a ton about everything that you've been putting into it. But either way, I think
also the ebbs and flows. Like your mom didn't give you your damn tablet. You're a pissy little bastard that day, and you lose.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's just like you're looking great one day, and then the next day. You're just down the dumps, my first girlfriend broke up with me.
You didn't get your glazed donuts.
Yeah,
that day after
right.
the
Yeah. We didn't go get the six pack of Dunkers at fucking Quick Trip. I can't do this today. So it's like
when we went to Super 32 for the first time, Ben was 10.
Yeah.
And I mean, he dropped a little weight. It's like 4 pounds or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything hard. But like seeing some of the kids are in like the interactions with their dads before weigh-ins.
Oh, yeah. We're sitting out there at the campground and those kids are out there running. Keep going.
And they're like 9 years old.
Oh, yeah.
They're in a hooded sweatshirt, full sweats, running out in a hot-ass parking lot.
Yeah.
Man. And it was funny talking to Jamie. He's like, that's a professional weight cutters tournament. That's exactly what that is. Like, you're extremely right on that because, and again, they're going to be doing it in college, right? So high school, I get it. I understand the gravity, but how, like, I still think we're very stupid in how we do it. I don't think people pay attention. I've been doing my family and our guys have been doing it this way for years.
Yeah.
I get it. Some people may do it right. Like, not everybody's dumb, but I can't get on board with the cutting weight at that young age. We did, like I said, with Liam, it was 4 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He had fat. They're all full of fat.
Yeah.
And then now you have these other kids, like the kid that was running out in the parking lot. He didn't look like he had a whole lot of weight to lose.
Yeah.
So it got a little interesting after a while, just seeing some of the interactions between the kids with their dads. Liam and mine haven't always been awesome, but it was never that.
Right.
It was never like, you need to shut up and not eat food and quit your crying. And all this. It was like, holy cow, man. Let's bring it down a notch, pop, stop.
Yeah.
But I think ranking middle schoolers I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And Willie's got way more time than we do, obviously, because he's doing Tulsa seeds.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not to say he's not making a buck doing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna hide the fact that
he's not doing it for.
No, he's not doing that stuff because he loves everybody in the plant. That's not why Willie's doing it.
He does a good job with that though. He's got his finger on the pulse. I don't want to have my finger on that pulse. I mean, like, that is not something I want to do. Like, oh man, Billy lost to this guy, but he pinned him 3 weeks ago, and then he got tech by him 2 weeks ago, and then he pinned him. I'm like, okay.
I like doing this.
Yeah.
And then talking about your ranking.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't mind doing another event, but like, man, trying to do multiple events, unless you have a crew.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got guys that are in it with you, kind of thing, I think it'd be fun, right? Cool. But if it's just you and you're like, well, I'm going to get a bunch of people together to try to do a tournament, you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You're trying to scramble to get some guys to help just because the people you do know, it's very, very limited.
Yeah.
Or they can't help, or they don't, I don't want to do anything like that. You might get screamed at by a parent.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it goes to show why reffing is on the decline.
Oh yeah. Like that's another thing, like, with the new rules, like difference between one and or 1 count and a 4 count. Like,
yeah,
some ref, like I was at Super 32 and this ref's not physically counting,
but then he holds up
4. I'm like, that was like 2 seconds. I was like, what the hell? Like, you can't do that when it's like that. Like 2 seconds is 2 points. Like, like you gotta at least do.
Yeah, just show me a finger wag or something.
I was just like, oh, that would be up and like at the table immediately. Like, gotta.
So I had Madison on last night, and she didn't wrestle. She was a manager, right? Like I'd never had that perspective on before.
Yeah.
Talk about having like the Kokana girls on and kind of talking about like a high school team, but she was in charge of Edinburgh, and not a huge school, but man, I mean, a good wrestling team, right? Yeah. I mean, Pat Lugo was from there.
Yeah.
A couple other really solid guys too, but she was running everything.
Yeah.
Right. With what you do, like trying to figure out ways if someone's out, are we going to make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you take notes of that stuff? Like, are you on the side writing stuff down, or you just have that shit in your head?
No, it's what's in my head.
So, okay. So let's say you're at a duel. Last state, for example, right? What was it? Is that Rapids?
In the finals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys have to switch any weights around for that? I can't remember. Was there a chance going to be a challenge at one spot where you needed a guy to be here? Like how do you just put that together? Like I mean, you've been we've done this before, but like you've been doing stats and things like that since you were little, right? And it was like baseball and, and all that other stuff. Are you literally just off to the side putting that together, like all the numbers? Okay, he can probably score, get a major on this guy more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have a not photographic, but eidetic mind or whatever.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's what it's called, but it's like I can remember things that I deeply care for, So it's like I remember almost every result I put in here. Like I just can remember it, and I'll be like, okay, well, he majored this guy, a guy we majored this guy, So you gotta at least think we're majoring him, So I always go for like the worst case scenario and then work my way from there.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just like if this happened and this happened, this should happen. It's just like it's a guess, but it's an educated guess.
Well, I mean, again, you do. I mean, rankings. So you're looking at all types of different. Because you and I talk a lot. Like, okay, well, hey, did you see this kid wrestle at this tournament? Do you remember who he wrestled? I mean, you're looking at head to head, and you're breaking it. Even when it's head to head, how much did you beat him by?
Right.
And did he beat him in the second period? Did he beat him in the first or third period? How long? That kind of thing. So you kind of go down a bit of a rabbit hole for some of these guys.
And it also matters if it was a dual meet or a tournament. Yeah. Like as a tournament, you're wrestling for yourself mostly. Yeah. Like obviously there's a team aspect to it, but I mean, you're gonna try and really score. Like in a duel, you might not put yourself out there to save points.
Sure.
So especially if you're on a better team, like you're gonna be well aware of what your job is when you go out there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's not like we go out there and be like, hey, you're going to lose to this kid. It's not what we do. But we're like, hey, be stingy, like we got to.
Yeah. Don't get pinned.
Yeah, we got to.
Don't get tacked.
Yeah.
Let's just work on scoring some points.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, take what you can get. And
yeah. Yeah, and she was saying the same because her uncle was the guy that ran the high school team that she started out at.
Oh, okay.
And she was helping in high or middle school team. Yeah, I believe it was middle school.
Oh.
Sorry, Madison. I'm an idiot. But only wanted her keeping stats. She was only stats at first, right? And then when she went to college, it was different.
Yeah.
It wasn't just stats. It was doing this, and she was helping with guys get with admissions and stuff like that. She was helping all these guys in the wrestling team with all these little things that you see, like someone that gets paid a separate salary at universities to do, right? Helping them, figuring out which classes are going to be best and all that other stuff. I was like, holy shit. That's a unique perspective to the whole side of wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Like Miss Montrick should be a paid position.
That's what I'm saying, right? Because she's balancing number one, everything that's going on, but then 3 girls or 4 girls that she's got helping.
Oh, yeah.
Like listening to her, she's kind of like waiting down the line with the pizzas and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
She's on it.
Yeah.
She is on it. I thought it was pretty interesting to hear from Madison about, she got stressed.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is not easy because you don't see the stuff they do.
Yeah.
Washing uniforms or, making sure guys are in on time. And maybe there's some guys she had to babysit.
Right.
That were just top-notch dickheads.
Right.
You never know.
In college, like, you got to, like, those coaches are just like, I'm paying them to be here. If they don't want to do it, And if you're, like, an empathetic person, like, you're going to be like, oh, come on, I'll help you.
Get in here. Get in here.
Yeah.
Like, it's stressful.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Holy shit. But that was like I said, that was pretty good perspective.
That's very different perspective you had on too. That's cool.
Yeah. And now, so I've had refs on, but I'm still working on the whole ref.
You got the Hall of Fame, new Hall of Famers.
I know, right? I know. I think he's like number 2 in the country for referees.
I don't know.
Maybe 1 now.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty.
Maybe 1. But I keep telling him, I was like, when do you want to do this? I'm like, whatever I'm not trying to butt into your schedule.
Right.
Whenever you're free, you can get like 3-4 other guys,
right?
To pop on. And that way we can kind of do rules and kind of the stresses and the stress level now of refereeing. And with the numbers dwindling and guys retiring every year, and I mean, there have been. I've noticed at the state tournaments. I've noticed a lot of good younger people coming up, but they're not even necessarily from Wisconsin,
right?
From Illinois or from Idaho or something like that. So I think that's another big push that's kind of hurting is officials.
Yeah, my wife is working on this thing called the sideline. It's called like the sideline project. That's what it's called. And it was started out with soccer parenting. She helps with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she helps with that site.
Interesting.
And so there's an ad on here for like sidelines.
I think I saw something for that.
Yeah, and it's about being respectful on the sidelines and
for sure,
and reffing, like the refs too. Like
it's hard.
Like I always tell like
it's
people like but that's not hard to be nice, but it can be.
It can be taxing when you're into it or whatever.
Yeah, heat of the moment is.
But still.
Yeah. I mean, I'm bad about it too. I can't say like.
Especially when you're coaching the corner and you're like talking to the ref.
Calls, like,
but I think the refs understand that's part of the.
Oh yeah,
they shouldn't have to deal with the other part.
Oh yeah,
you know, like.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, oh, he bumped him with his knee. You know?
Really watching for stalling, aren't you, sir? Huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's one coach that you coach against, and it's just like he's not saying any names. He just says what color ankle band his kid's wearing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're doing a good job, Green. Is that so he doesn't call him for stalling? I guess is the whole thing, but it's just like, oh, I guess I can't call him for stalling. He's saying he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
he's working really hard.
Hands off.
Yeah, can't ball up that fist, so I'll ball up the other one. He's playing some like deep level mind games there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I didn't realize she was doing that stuff.
Yeah, she.
That's another guest I'm going to be having back on. We had to reschedule Catherine Scheid. She does. It's called Luca Fit.
Okay.
So they have and there's I'm going to hopefully not misrepresent, but I don't know everything about the website. But you can get lined up with a coach. It looks like.
Okay.
You get lined up with a coach, and then you can get their film. They can give you some direction. I think possibly even doing some mindset work through there.
Cool.
But kind of an all-around encompassing thing.
Yeah.
Where I think that you can work on moves and stuff with a coach through there as well.
Yeah.
Now to piggyback off that, Eric Barnett is doing the Complete Wrestler.
Yeah.
And now I know he was trying to do something similar, where it was still you have wrestling practice, but available to you. You also have this, and this.
Yeah.
Right? Jordy Crass, that's another spot where it's not necessarily the mental side, because I mean Crass is mental, right?
Like, he does the recovery side too.
But as far as that, yes, he's got that. But they have the recovery. They also have the nutrition that's there.
Yeah.
But it's a multi-sport thing though too, so it's not just
But it's still very cool.
But it's nice to see that transition of wrestling places that are thinking outside the box.
Oh yeah.
And wrestling people. So that's where the success, I think, thing comes in with wrestlers in general.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to be more creative now because they can see what was lacking. Things that they may have wanted when they were young or coming up and trying to get into college wrestling. You see the differences of experiences that you can have with different places. There's going to be so much at one place that if it just a little bit fits you, that's the whole thing that you need in one place.
Yeah.
Right? But then you can share that by going to over to here, and hopefully something down the line's coming that's going to hopefully intertwine all those together, where you can be a part of one whole thing and experience everything.
Oh yeah.
And I think that is going to be the biggest catalyst, I think, for the sport and why it'll make these guys successful, because they can brand their own thing and they can be extremely unique. Because I mean, think about it. What have we been doing for wrestling since the dawn of time? Just create a club and you're in a shop somewhere with a mat and 30 kids.
Yeah.
Now we're expanding.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a smarter side to wrestling now.
Mm-hmm.
There's intelligent wrestling, and that's not just on the mat. That's your nutrition, that's your fitness, that's your recovery, that's everything.
Yeah.
Right? It becomes a business.
Mm-hmm.
Where you notice a lot of these kids, especially wrestlers that are going to school for kinesiology and things like that, where they're physical therapists or not even physical therapists, but they're trainers.
Right.
That's just what makes, I think, again, wrestlers just completely unique to the whole situation of once I'm out, what am I going to do? The connections that everybody else makes are just as good. NFL guys, they make great connections even when they're in the NFL, right? So it all goes hand in hand. I think a lot of it deals with like whatever school you go to as well. What kind of connections did you have there when you went to college?
Yeah.
Were you out there in the community helping out and volunteering where you make connections with people?
Right.
Whatever it is, the connections are the most important because I think with those guys, that networking and things like that really pushes their success, in the future. But wrestlers have just been open even more now to being a little more non-conventional.
Okay.
Just like, with these clubs now that are offering more than just coming here and wrestling. Right. You're going to get a whole package of something. Or wrestlers offering those other little things off to the side, right? I think it's going to be a great thing, even though we're in a super weird and not enjoyable time watching what's going on with college sports.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things to look forward to when it comes to like how this could all pan out and turn out. But it's going to be unfortunate, especially for those kids that are going to wind up being told, "Hey, gotta go."
Yeah,
and you're like, I just had 5 years of my life planned out.
Oh yeah,
So again, hopefully, parents, be open with your kids about this NCAA stuff. Pay attention. It's not that it's dangerous to talk about. Have your eyes open.
Yeah.
To what could possibly happen because you just don't know right now. So it's better to have a backup plan and just be like, hey, let it roll.
Yeah.
And live life and not sitting to the side worried about it because
that's why it's more than when you're making your decision, it needs to be more than just athletically too.
Correct.
You could be 4 years into your and you get cut, and you got 4 years there. I mean, you might as well finish it out.
Yep. And those are the two top things that when we were before he was really looking at colleges, but when the thought was in our head. Environment, you're going to like the environment. They have what you want for an education.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're going to find the best school you can with all three things with wrestling and all that combined. But those are the top two things. And, like when Liam was going through and checking out places that Virginia just hit him like that. Everything was close. The environment was a nice school environment. And honestly, the education that's there is going to be top notch.
Oh yeah.
Plus again the networking.
Yeah.
He's not just going to be going to school with kids. Obviously a lot of kids go to a lot of places, but this is kind of different.
Yeah.
There's dignitaries, kids that are there.
Right.
It's a unique environment. I'm very excited for him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun to see how it turns out for him. But I'm still nervous for him.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know what's gonna happen with all this stuff. And I know some coaches are like, well, don't sweat it. We don't know the whole story. That's the problem.
Right.
Because we don't know the whole story. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's not a time to get super nervous, but it's time thinking about, okay, what if something happens?
Yeah, for sure.
What if something hits the fan?
Yeah.
But, well, we've been going for an hour and a half. Got anything you want to add? What do you got? Are you going to be releasing a new set of rankings after the first week, or what do you?
Oh yeah, I do every week from once it starts. It's going to be updated every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this will be basically after Thanksgiving. It'll be the last weekend winners that are not updated. I don't do like the other people and continue through. Once you get to regional,
you're done.
You're done. I'm not gonna because that's who was the best in the state in my eyes and results wise for that year.
Okay.
I'm not gonna change it once you don't make it to state.
Well, but you don't change it once state is done. After state's done, you just leave it after regional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean they showed what the real ranking is. I don't need to just put it up there. I mean, what am I going to do? That guy beat that guy, but I think he's better, so I'm going to put him above him. I can't do it. But I can't stand when they rank 16 guys and they're only the 16 that made the mistake. I'm like, that's not ranking. That's
you just put them in order.
Yeah, okay. Good job. Why don't you just put them the way they're seated?
Yeah,
that'd be cool, right?
Yeah,
cool. It's not about that. It's about the kids that don't make it. They're still good.
Yeah,
they're still probably
rankable.
They're probably still top 5 sometimes if they don't make it to state.
So before we go, I put a poll out on Twitter.
Yeah,
I put a poll out of if you were a 4-year starter at a D1 NCAA school, right? 4-year starter, not All-American, right? Or if you were a 4-year wrestler, but you only started 1 year and you All-American that year, what are you more impressed with?
Okay, so you said 4-year starter, never All-American.
Correct. Versus you're on the team all 4 years, but you're a 1-year starter and you All-American that year. What are you more impressed with?
Is it his 5th year or 4th year there that he did it, or is it the first?
It would be the 4th year. Your last year, you All-American.
Yeah.
You're more impressed with that?
Yeah.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he stuck it out. And didn't have all the fame and glory that the other. I mean, it's not a lot, but
sure,
you're getting your ass kicked every day in the room.
So is the guy that has to keep his position for 4 years. You think they aren't trying to bring another guy in to replace him to be able to, in case he,
Not usually.
You don't think
if
so?
He's starting as a freshman, he's a stud.
But you don't think, especially at a D1 NCAA school, you're going to sit there and tell me you don't think that they're going to bring in someone that's going to challenge someone?
Yeah, they're going to challenge it, but they're going to be like, there's a system to how they're like. If you got a guy that's going to be a 4-year starter, you're not bringing a bunch of money in at that way.
Let's look at Penn State, for example. Just about every
guy
in that
roster. Penn State.
Oh, no.
No, you can't, because they have unlimited money.
Yeah, but that's the point, though. So, because even a guy that's at a different school, let's say, Kent State. Let's say Kent State has a kid that's at 132, right?
Yeah.
And whatever.
33.
133. Again, the glitch is happening. 133. And he's probably, 2-time state champ, whatever it is. Maybe that's what they're constantly bringing in.
Yeah.
And then he's challenged by that every time. But he has to face that every other, I don't know how many times if a guy's good enough. Each team might be different with how they do wrestle-offs. Yeah. But either way, he has to live up to that challenge every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Against guys that are just as tough. Maybe that guy could have All-American that was under him.
Yeah.
But he kept beating him. You know what I'm saying? So, but then this guy doesn't All-American. So that's the thing. Like, I think it's the longevity.
In this day and age, like the guy that stuck it out at that school and didn't get a varsity spot until he was a senior.
Yeah.
And then he made the most of it. Is more impressive to me than the guy that just did the same thing 4 years.
All things aside, I would either way. As far as just the guy out to the side, I'm impressed with both. But to me, it just like I said, it just seems like the longevity.
Yeah.
And a guy that's in the shadows that doesn't get any recognition.
He's going to the opens every weekend. He's not getting on the TV and a chance to make the nationals at all. So like that's living in the dark. For 3 years, 4 years sometimes.
Okay. And I get it. That's why I put it out there, because it's kind of curious. And everybody said the one-time All-American.
Yeah.
Everybody said. I think there's like maybe 2 votes. I think.
Like at my old school, we used to have kids in high school, obviously, but they'd never be varsity and finish in the top 4 in the state as a senior.
Okay.
And it was just like impressive because they stuck it out. Like, and obviously, high school and college is different in that aspect because you're getting a lot more matches and there's just a different lifestyle in college of what you're doing and like high school you're getting the shitty coaches, or not shitty, but you're getting not the varsity coaches. You're getting you're getting second tier everything. You're getting the uniforms are crappy. That got holes in them.
Yeah.
Like at my school, we did practice packs, so like we washed everybody's stuff every day.
Okay.
And so like we would make sure that they're washing their stuff that way, because sometimes if you didn't do that, they're not getting their stuff washed, and they just the skin problems were real bad until we started doing that.
Where was that in Indiana?
Indiana,
yeah.
Yeah. So we would wash their stuff every year, but the varsity got the real nice, spandex shorts and nice, and then everybody else just gets, there's different ones for each team you're on, and it just got worse and worse. So it's just like, I know that doesn't have any effect of, impressive, but it's just like you're getting shit on for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I'm impressed by both sides.
I can get both sides
because it's still collegiate wrestling, and like I said, it just seems to me like I would think like the longevity of sticking out all 4 years, being the starter, being the dude.
Yeah,
because that's not everybody's a Spencer Lee, right? Not everybody's that anomaly.
Yeah, like my buddy was. I had a buddy that went to UNI, and Michigan State, and he was a 4-time blood round.
Okay.
Got the blood round every 4 times, every 4 years. I was just like, man, that has to be like gut wrenching.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Could you imagine that 4th year when you're getting out there? You're like, no, please not again.
You imagine being Dayton Fix?
Oh yeah,
being a runner-up 5 years in a row.
Yeah, well, that's a little different than being.
And we have OSU fans, so if you guys are watching, we're not knocking them.
No,
that's just he made it that far all 5 times, but man, to come in second, not get one.
Oh yeah,
not get one.
That has to be rough.
That's
still a great account.
Yeah, I know, right? So I get both sides. Both sides. I mean, it's just one of those things where I was like, it's kind of interesting. I wonder what. Yeah, I wonder what people are thinking. It was like 11 people voted. Yeah, I'm just some newbie on Twitter. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, but I think either way it's hard, but that's cool. I just want to point out to everybody that Zach doesn't know how to operate his computer so much, and he doesn't even know how to keep the screen on fully. He has to keep touching.
What am I supposed to do?
I just think that you work with a computer so much that I can't believe that you don't know that stuff.
It's a desktop and it's a big iMac. Huge.
You get that?
Oh yeah,
man. Yeah. I mean, I got multiple screens.
I'm a trophy husband.
I'm not working full time. Yeah. You kidding?
I'm a trophy husband and I do laundry
full time.
And cook. Not during wrestling.
Do you do the dishes?
No, I can't do it. That she doesn't like the way I load the dishwasher.
Oh, so it's not a her, it's a you thing.
Oh yeah, I can't. I don't use the space correctly.
Oh,
I pack it like a 5-year-old.
See,
it fits in there.
I don't want to go too far into dishwashing stuff, but I have a certain way to put things in as well.
Yeah, if I went up there and put yours in there, you'd probably be like, "What the hell are you thinking?"
I'm letting it slide right now because it's not something that I'm gonna pick at. So it's however they want to load it, we'll load it. Yeah, stuff's getting washed.
It's a cost-effective thing for my wife, though. Like, you're using you can fit so much more.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, we're off additional.
This is additional. We had that in the show notes, right?
In the rankings.
Talk about dishwasher.
You should. Maybe we'll just do a roundup and see what the rankings are for dishwashers.
You want me to whip that up for our next show?
Top rated rankings for dishwashers. But so you got nothing else coming up?
No, if the kids want it, I can still add pictures to your profile.
Oh yeah,
I can still do all that stuff if you want. I've had a lot of people that saw it finally that the season's getting close, and they were like, "Oh, is it too late to add a picture?" I was like, "No, you can add a picture. You can change your picture every week if you want.
Right?
I don't care. Just send it to me, and I'll
put it up. Yeah, it takes 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, in the summer I was begging people for stuff, and then now that everybody sees it, they're like,
"Yeah,
oh, can you do this?" There's like 10 kids every day. Like, can you put this in there? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But where were you 3 months ago?
2 week lead time. Yeah. 2 week lead time.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got gear on there. I saw that.
Yeah.
So guys, get to the Wisconsin. I don't care if you have kids that wrestle in Wisconsin or not. Go to Wisconsin Grappler. Does a pretty good job. Again, the mobile version is just tough.
Yeah.
I don't mean to piss on your cornflakes.
No, it's fine. Man, I get it, but
rough.
You just gotta get used to it.
I'm just a whiny prick.
Yeah.
So that's what you get sometimes.
You said it,
I did. And I'm not proud of it, but it's like there's just certain times where it's like, oh, stop.
Oh yeah, I understand, but I wish I could make it all like the desktop, but it's not working.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I think we're probably gonna cap it off here.
Oh, this year I am gonna give away shirts to the top ranked guys after conference season. So I'll be ordering shirts that I don't know what they're going to say yet, but so if you're ranked first going into regionals, I'll get your address and send you a free shirt. So. All
right, Wisconsin guys, you heard it. If you're ranked number 1 in your weight class by end of conference, you're going to win a T-shirt. So if you're an athlete, get your pictures into them. Represent yourself properly because college coaches do look at it. Yeah. I get message from college coaches to find out, hey, where's any type of like a area that I can find information. I'm pointing them to his website. So they do go to that website and use it. So kids, get your pictures out there so the college coaches can tell who you are.
Yeah.
But I don't. Other than I think we have a week or two off here of episodes. But I'm gonna get Catherine Shy back on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about her venture as well. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to bore people anymore.
No.
Hope you enjoyed it. We talked about NCAA stuff. We talked about success after NCAA stuff. Not just wrestling, but just success in general. Touched on a lot. Talk about your new website. Check out my website. Pretty simple. It's not complicated. Again, Lyra Ketzer has her signature line out there. It's helping her raise money for her travels. She goes all over the country. She's not the only kid that does it, but she was the one that we picked because she impressed us with just the way that she lives and the way that she is around other kids and things like that. It's just someone that we picked. Get out and support her. She's like I said, we've got hoodies, we got sweatshirts, we got white shorts, we got sweatpants, all that stuff for joggers, not necessarily sweatpants. And the sweatshirts are everything's sublimated. The t-shirts are sublimated, nice lighter material. Check out her gear, get some gear ordered up. Otherwise, our sponsors are Appleton Tattoo. It's where I got my Celtic cross in my back from. 920 Hat Company. Anybody can order. Go check out their website, 920 Hats. They use, he always keeps Richardson hats in stock. Zach's wearing one of them. I got a whole all of them here, actually, if you can't see that already. But 920 Hat Company, and then Anabolic Army. Go check those guys out. Good pre-workout supplement. They got some bands. We use them here at home. We also use the pre-workout. But Anabolic Army, good stuff. But other than that, I think I'm going to find my banner and my intro music here, and we're going to get out of here. So thanks, everybody, for paying attention. Peace.
All of our episodes are brought to you by Appleton Tattoo, located at 117 South Appleton Street in Appleton, Wisconsin, right off the main drag on College Avenue. You can't miss them. I've had some work done. I have a Celtic cross that covers my back that was done by Jason. We're not done yet. Jason Winans and crew, the artists that he have there, those guys are the best in the Fox Valley. They are definitely one to go to if it's something that you've just been kind of throwing around. They'll make you feel comfortable. It's a very clean environment, very nice crew, and very willing to get done whatever you need done when you need it done. You can message them on Facebook. I know they're on Facebook. You can give them a call at 920-604-8289 and get in touch with Jason Winans and crew at Appleton Tattoo, located again in Appleton, Wisconsin at 117 South Appleton Street, right in Appleton. Very flexible hours, great crew, clean environment again. I would not send you anywhere else except for these guys. Appleton Tattoo.